My name is Nathan Parker. I'm 28 years old, and I live in a quiet neighborhood in Cedar Grove. What I'm about to share with you isn't a campfire tale or something out of a horror movie. It happened to me. It was real, and I've never been the same since. It all started on the night of June 23rd, 2022. A Thursday I'll never forget. That day began like any other. I woke up at 6 a.m., just as I always did, with the loud beeping of my alarm dragging me out of a half-dream. As we ran around the block, everything felt normal. The air was cool, the streets were quiet, and birds were chirping in the trees. We didn't talk much, just nodded, smiled, and occasionally pointed at a neighbor's new garden or a squirrel darting across the sidewalk. It felt peaceful, safe. After breakfast, I headed to my job. I worked in a small office building, answering customer service calls for an insurance company. The work was mindless. The customers were often angry, and the hours dragged on. I'd count the minutes until 4 p.m. and then bolt out the door. That evening, I stopped by my parents' place on the way home. I left their house around 8:30 p.m. My walk home usually took about half an hour, but there was a shortcut through the woods behind their neighborhood. It wasn't a proper path, just a narrow trail carved by years of dog walkers, teenagers, and folks like me looking to save time. I had taken that trail dozens of times. I wasn't scared of the dark. I wasn't superstitious. But that night, something was different. It was strangely quiet in the woods. No crickets, no wind, no leaves rustling. Just silence, the kind of silence that makes your skin crawl. I kept walking, trying to brush off the unease. My phone had only 12% battery, so I didn't bother pulling it out. I just wanted to get home, shower, and maybe catch an episode of some dumb sitcom with Sarah. That's when I heard it. A faint, cracking sound behind me, like a dry stick being snapped. I froze mid-step. I turned slowly, expecting to see a raccoon, or maybe another person walking the trail. Probably a squirrel, I muttered. I forced myself to keep walking. A few minutes later, there it was again. This time, it wasn't a crack. It was a dragging sound. Something heavy sliding across the dirt. And then, click, 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 like sharp nails tapping against the forest floor. I turned around fast, and that's when I saw them. Two green, glowing eyes, not shining like a reflection. These eyes were glowing, like they had their own light. They blinked once, and then disappeared. I stood there, frozen, heart pounding in my chest like a war drum. My breath caught in my throat, and I felt sweat start to gather on my palms. What the hell was that? I wasn't brave. I wasn't stupid either. I turned around and started walking faster, almost jogging. I could feel something behind me. I didn't hear it anymore, but I felt it. Like someone was watching me from the trees, like cold air was brushing against my neck. Then, I heard a screech, inhuman, raspy, and filled with something that felt like hate. Something burst out of the darkness behind me. I only caught a glimpse of it as I turned. Long limbs, twisted joints, pale skin stretched tightly over bones, and black hair dragging along the ground. I ran, faster than I've ever run in my life. Branches whipped my arms. Roots nearly caught my feet, but I didn't stop. I could hear it chasing me, its limbs slapping against the dirt, clawing at the ground. It made snarling sounds as it got closer. I didn't dare look back. I saw the lights of my house through the trees. My legs burned. My lungs screamed. But I pushed forward. I reached my front porch, grabbed the doorknob, and then, agony. Something slashed across my back. I dropped to the ground, screaming. The pain was white hot, as if someone had poured acid on me. I twisted around. The thing was standing there. And then, slowly, it turned away and walked toward my house. It shattered the window beside the front door and slipped inside like smoke. I don't know how, but I dragged myself onto the porch. My vision was swimming. I could barely breathe. The pain in my back made me want to pass out, but I couldn't let that thing hurt Sarah. I tried to scream her name. Nothing came out. Then, everything went black. I woke up in a hospital bed 2 weeks later. My shoulder, side, and back were wrapped in thick bandages. Sarah was sitting beside me. She looked exhausted. When I asked what happened, she told me that she got home early that night and heard something breaking inside the house. She saw the creature climbing through the window and didn't hesitate. She grabbed her service weapon and shot it twice in the back. It screeched and disappeared into the darkness. She found me bleeding on the porch and called for help. That's what saved my life. But that's not the craziest part. We had security cameras around the house, and they caught everything. The footage showed the creature. Long limbs, pale skin, black hair, green glowing eyes, climbing through the window, crawling across the living room floor, and then sprinting out after the gunshots. We gave the footage to the police. They launched a full investigation. The trail was closed off. Detectives, wildlife officers, and even a few federal agents came by. They found nothing. No prints. No blood. No tracks. The videos went viral. People on the internet came up with wild theories. Demons, aliens, forest spirits, secret experiments gone wrong. But none of that helped me sleep at night, because I knew it was still out there. But I didn't, because I still hear it sometimes. When I'm lying in bed, and the wind stops blowing, I hear that dragging sound. When I take out the trash at night, I see those green eyes watching me from the trees. I quit my job. I moved out of that house. I don't take shortcuts anymore, but I know one thing for sure. Whatever that thing was, it wasn't human. It was hunting me, watching me, waiting for the right moment to strike. So if you're someone who likes to walk alone in the woods, especially at night, please listen to me. Don't. There are things out there that we don't understand. Things that don't belong in this world. Things that don't need to knock on your door because they already know how to get inside. Stay in the light.